Thank you, Chair. Thank you for coming today. You mentioned in your beginning speech that you were giving advice on rapid technological change and focusing on digital sovereignty. We've been long recognized as a leader in AI and digital innovation research, but I hear concerns and I see that we lag in commercialization. From a scientific and innovation standpoint, what barriers continue to prevent Canadian discoveries from becoming Canadian companies and Canadian jobs?
Well, thank you for the question. If you see me smile, it's because it's like the $1,000,000 question that successive governments have actually struggled with. And we have many programs in the country that support innovation. We have others that support research. And often I think the issue is that the two don't connect. You know, we have pipes, but we don't have connectors. Of course, it's in the best interest of the country that we are able to commercialize in Canada, grow companies in Canada. And the Minister Jolie has asked me actually just last week to work to provide her recommendations on how to, concrete ways that we can accelerate the commercialization. So I'll probably be able to give you some, a better answer perhaps in a few months.
Did you consult the government at all before they came out with the AI strategy on the commercialization aspect at that point?
I have, I consulted with the government, with Minister Solomon, on the missions where and on where best that we need to start in terms of adoption and commercialization, because they often go hand in hand. And in the case of AI, for example, the application in health, I have to say that my office had already worked with allies, with the French on the one hand, with the Italians, to develop some collaborative work around precisely this, because I think that that there are huge opportunities both economically but also in terms of health access.
Thank you. It's a bit concerning for me to hear that you gave your advice with the AI strategy and that it hasn't been talked about or implemented into the AI strategy, and then now a new minister is coming and asking for that same advice. I think it needed to be a part of the AI for all strategy that the minister just came out with. Kitchener Centre is long recognized as Canada's innovation capital with our research, our startups, our innovators. From your perspective, how can our government do better to ensure that regions like this are better included with development and commercialization in Canada?
The area is superb. It's Silicon Valley North, so they have enviable activities. But I think it comes down to having an entire ecosystem that is supportive of startups, that's supportive of growing companies and growing talent in Canada. And I'm hopeful that maybe we'll get there. We need to.
Thank you. Another question, is there areas where federal policy could do more to prevent the brain drain that we're seeing in Canada today to keep our entrepreneurs and our talent in Canada?
I believe that, the talent in the STEM area, for example, many of them go to industry, some are entrepreneurs, some go to university. The vast majority are actually not at university. So if we want to keep our talent, we need to, to have strong industrial bases, strong industrial development, manufacture things here, and sell them to the world.
Thank you very much. The last question is going to be more of your opinion question. It's disheartening for me to hear, as well as the Prime Minister's office hasn't reached out to you to talk directly about your priorities with science. And it kind of fits what I'm seeing with, the funds being cut, the egg research being cut, the lunar rover mission terminated. in your opinion, would you have rather seen the,
Moderator,
would
maybe you can come back.
Can I just finish the question?
Time is up, and if you can come back, we still continuing for an hour, so you can come.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Dr. Niemer. I'm just going to follow up on my colleague's line of questioning earlier, and unfortunately she didn't get her question in. She mentioned the disappointment it was for all of us to kind of learn that you have not met with the Prime Minister. I mean, those kind of meetings are important. I mean, they're signals, and it makes it appear that, science is a low priority, which fits with the theme and, the trend that we've seen recently. I mean, for example, with the agricultural research centers, 75% of the total financial cuts to the Department of Agriculture and Agri-Food come at the expense of science and research branch. In March, just after your last appearance, $20 million was cut to the Strategic Science Fund. Again, in March, the Canadian Space Agency announced cuts to the Lunar Rover mission. These kind of are sad signals, if I can be quite honest, and it points to a kind of science becoming a low priority for the government. You, in your comments, you talked about zigzag funding is not good for science. So I just want to give you a chance to respond to that and express your feelings with respect to some of those cuts. And what does that say about the government's commitment to science and scientific research?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to perhaps express views based on data because I don't think that my feelings are really important in this situation. I would start by saying that it's from where I sit, I don't see at all a disinterest in science and research. I think that the commitment for 1.7 billion to attract talent is quite telling. It's a significant amount of funding.
Still less than the 21 billion they spend on outside consultants. Wouldn't it been better that this government take direction to cut $21 billion in outside consultants and put that into the agricultural research centers, put it back into the public funding for our university streams, for example? I mean, my God, we have just a recent report from Monday, June 1st, that talks about the Center for World University Rankings. There were, out of 38 universities in Canada, 37 dropped. Only one stayed the same. I mean,
point of order, Madam Chair. Point of order, Madam Chair. Point of order.
Stop the clock.
Is this within the scope of the Chief Science Advisor?
I'm just asking with regards to science.
We're getting into debate. Thank you, MP Nur Mohammed, MP Baljanali.
So are you not concerned, those precious dollars that we do spend, are needed, not only at our departments, but also at the U15 and all the universities. In fact, I've got the #1 research college in all of Canada. In the college in the CGEP levels, they got maybe $500 million of the over $10 billion to go to that for core research funding. So wouldn't it have been better for the government, or do you not believe that it would have been better for some of the dollars that the government is spending on outside consultants be better placed inside government to advance research for not only universities and colleges, but for departments to keep those workers at the agriculture and agri-food department so that we can continue to do the excellent work that is being performed there at those 7 centers and those workers that are going to be losing their jobs.
Madam Chair, I just want to reaffirm that I strongly feel about science. I'm a science champion. And I think that there are we need to look at the entirety of the portrait. For example, the investment that we are providing in security and defense. The Prime Minister has been very clear from the beginning that this includes substantive investments for R&D, including both civilian, of course, and dual use. So there will be funds actually that will be going to universities, and industry.
And to your point, and thank you for that. You had also talked about your agency in providing advice not only on science research, but science infrastructure as well. So was your office ever consulted with regards to the $200 million that is being spent on the spaceport in Canso, Nova Scotia? And have you seen that site?
My office was not consultant. I have not seen the site. I mean, if you're if you're interested, I can just like give you some scientific notes here. Because I looked at what was so special about this site versus other sites for satellite launch, and it turns out that because of where we want the satellites to be and the curvature of the Earth, that this actually is a very good place to launch directly the satellites.
Oh, I'm not questioning about.
Time is up.
You had mentioned in the very beginning that you had a youth council that sent a report to the minister on the future of AI. Is that report public?
Yes, the report is public. It's on our website.
On your website?
Yes.
Okay, I'll be sure to grab it because I want to read through it myself. Thank you. You also had mentioned that we don't have a lot of pharmaceutical companies in Canada and you'd love to see more. I think really great examples of ensuring that we retain our IP in Canada does come out of the pharmaceutical world. For example, penicillin and Ozempic were both Canadian inventions, but we didn't retain the IP and didn't see the economic impact of that. I think I appreciate my colleagues' questions as well about, Canadians being unsure of AI and what the future holds. IP retention in the future is a very critical component to ensuring that we see the economic impact of AI and tech and digital innovation moving forward. Do you see a strong strategy and plan right now from the scientific standpoint to ensure that our universities and our researchers are educating our entrepreneurs and developers on the importance of IP retention for Canadian economic impact?
Well, thank you. This is a very important question, and I'll say that the universities and the researchers, and again, we cannot generalize because researchers in certain sector are more aware of the possibility of actually securing IP and of what it takes to protect it and so on. I think that we can do more. But it's also, we have to realize that securing IP is costly. And we need to have also not just, getting like the patent or the license agreement and so on, but, there needs to be some push as well to be able to get money out of it.
I agree that it's costly to secure IP, but I think the societal impact of our economy, for example, being in a recession now is an indicator of how it's more costly to not retain our IP in Canada, and especially in this technological era coming up. One thing that I didn't see myself in the AI strategy is any sort of measurable indicator on whether or not the strategy will be working in the future. What indicators do you think Canadians can look for over the next couple of years to determine if our AI strategy is achieving what it set out to do?
I'm a big fan of, indicators and being able to evaluate to see whether things are working and when they're not working to do something else. The AI strategy has many dimensions. So I think the indicators are going to have to be according to the dimension. For example, if we take about increasing AI literacy, I think that we can, it's easy to measure where we are now and to see, what tools we're going to deploy and how many people we have reached and whether, the people's views of AI have changed. When it comes to AI and health, we're going to have to see what were we able to achieve in terms of, accelerating access to health, accelerating regulatory reform, reviews of drugs. So I think it depends on each sector, but we do absolutely need to have indicators.
I agree completely. I would have liked to seen it, at least a piece of it in this strategy, that any sort of measurable KPI, as I call in industry, but we'll see what the future holds. In your view, what level of transparency should Canadians expect when AI systems are used in federal decision-making or public service delivery, I ask? Because you mentioned as well the importance of keeping things human-centric, and I agree with that. So in your assessment, how important is this?
I believe it's essential that people know when AI has been used, for example, to manage their file, whether it's in a number of services, and other decisions concerning them. It's absolutely essential because otherwise we might get into a backlash that will set us back in terms of the adoption of the technology.
I'll use my last 20 seconds to thank you for your time today.